Be honest with you, the biggest challenge isn't the work, it isn't the employees. It's actually the credit. As being so young, being able to obtain credit was the hardest thing. Still, I'm dealing with it.
This is a pretty cool experience because I've known Riley since he's a little kid. What do you do on your free time?
Not a lot of free time. It's a lot of working, you know?
Welcome back to another episode of the Intrepidus Podcast with Dan and Anthony. Today we got on Riley Lewis with RDL Landscaping Service. Welcome to the show, Riley.
Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys having me.
Tell us a little bit about what you do.
So we're a full-service landscape, residential, commercial company. We service all of Monmouth County and Ocean County. We do a lot of commercial stuff. We do a lot of residential, a little mixture of everything.
You look young. How old are you, Riley?
I'm 20 years old.
20 years old. What got you started in landscaping?
I always did landscaping as a kid, just running around doing stuff in the yard. And once COVID came, I actually started working for another company, like when we were doing school, like here and there. Mm-hmm. And just started going from there, learned a lot about it, got a lot of good connections from it. And as soon as I got my license at 17, I was like, I got a truck. And I started going on Facebook of all the groups. And I started putting my stuff out there and started going from there.
So that's how you got your first sale?
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So this is a pretty cool experience because I've known Riley since he's a little kid. And he's friends with my son growing up. And I remember Riley wanting to start business. And maybe I'll let you shine on that a little bit. But I know Riley's like, I don't know if I should get a job and just do this on the side. And I remember he was like 17. I think, 17. And I had a heart-to-heart with him. I basically said, like, you're going to go in business. You're not going to look back. I don't care what you say. You're going in business. You're not going to work for yourself. Side work doesn't make you anything. And a hobby's only going to cost you money. So during your teen years, I know there was a struggle because you were coming out of high school and, you had so many different things to look at. You probably were being told, hey, go to college, all this different shit. What made you in your younger years, like the last 3-4 years, do what you're doing today?
That's a good question. So just watching you as a kid, everything you had, what you were providing for your family, seeing all the cool things you had. I wanted to be in that spot, and watching you. If you work hard, you can get anything you want.
Just harboring entrepreneurs, huh? Just nurturing them until they're fully grown.
You got to grow them. You got at the end of the day, like they know. And Riley calls me a lot for advice, and asks me questions. And in the beginning, I used to call him an asshole because he would always ask me a question and do the complete opposite. And I'd be like, Riley, what the fuck are you doing? That's not what I told you to do. And he's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, if you did what I told you to do, you wouldn't be there. So like, what I try to teach him and my kid is everything that I did wrong, don't do it. But you know what? They're young. They know more than us. And, they're so cool and they could, make their own decisions. And then when they make their own decisions and they fall on their face, they go, fuck, I should have listened, right? So what are some of the challenges that you have in business now? Like you went from just doing a couple lawns. I mean, you made, you had over $100,000 in snowplow contracts last year at 19. I mean, that's incredible. What are some of the challenges that you face being in business?
Be honest with you, the biggest challenge isn't the work, it isn't the employees. I can get enough work as I want. I can get all the employees. It's actually the credit. As being so young, being able to obtain credit was the hardest thing. Still, I'm dealing with it. It's a lot easier now as I have a lot more loans out and everything's getting paid off every month. But starting out from nothing, it was very hard. I got to appreciate, thank you to Dan. He co-signed for my first truck for me. My F-150 I got last year, he co-signed for it. And ever since then, paying it off, I was able to buy another truck, more machines, a skid steer.
So you just needed that first loan. You needed someone to trust in you. And then once you got that, it was smooth sailing from there.
Exactly, yes.
Fantastic.
I just said, listen, I'll co-sign for you, but give me the extra set of keys in case you don't pay. I'm coming to get it. But he's been good. My credit's good. Everything's good. But, I believe in him. And at the end of the day, somebody has to believe in you in business,
right?
To know that you can do it. And he'll ask me every time he sees me, are you proud of me? I go, you don't have to ask me that. Because when you're doing something wrong, I literally tell you. And when you're not going in a direction that you should be going, I literally tell you. And when you're doing good, I tell you. You don't need reassurance. and he knows that. Like, dude, I'm probably the hardest person on him. And sometimes he thinks, don't come at me, dude. Like, I'm like, bro, it is what it is. I tell everyone what they need to hear, not what they want to hear,
And they're not thankful. You're not thankful for it until it's over, right?
Yeah.
Going through those hard times and being told what to do, it's tough. But yeah, it just it reinstates the fact that you just need someone to trust in you.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who that is. It could be a family, a friend. It just needs somebody to help you out.
Being friends with his son, obviously, Daniel, he took me under his wing a lot. We went to a lot of places, showed me a lot of cool things. We went to Nashville 2 years ago for the, what was it? The
Arte event.
The Arte event. That was pretty cool, watching that in person, seeing what that's all about.
So talk about personal development, because you're not a big reader, but you listen to podcasts, you listen to YouTube, and you follow a bunch of successful people on social media. Like, how does that transpire in your life, and how has personal development? Because when we grow up, we're taught, go to high school, go to college, get a job. Hey, do you have good grades? All this bullshit that we're fed, but if you want to be successful and you want to make $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, you're not going to do that shit from your high school teacher. You're not going to do that shit by a college teacher or professor. Unless you're going to be a doctor, lawyer, accountant, and do something big in life and spend 10 years in school, you're not going to be ultra successful listening to average people. So how has personal development changed you and played a role in your life?
It's been huge. Without personal development, I wouldn't be where I am today.
So what do you do in your spare time? 20 years old, can't even drink yet. Can't, just like Daniel, waiting to go to Bar A, even though I know he's not. But, all those people that are, right? What do you do in your spare time being so young and, thinking, putting personal development before everything else?
Be honest with you, it's a lot of just working, man. It's working 5-6 days a week. It's if we're not like working out in the field, it's trying to figure out, okay, what other property can I get? What else can I do to become the next level? And like you said, I watched a lot of podcasts and stuff. I listened to a lot of people. Everyone has different ideas, but at the end of the day, it's all the same idea when you think about it,
So you're working 6-7 days a week. What do you do on your free time?
Not a lot of free time. It's a lot of working, We're just building it up.
Yeah. Does that ever affect you, not having free time?
Not really. You see all these people going to college my age, they're partying it up, but you go on their stories, you say, oh, they're partying, drinking all day. It's like, you don't want to do that. The next morning you feel like crap. What's the point, And the time they're waking up at noon, my day's almost over. We're already grinding. We're getting stuff done.
Right. Light years ahead of where they are. They say, what's that phrase? That salary is a bribe that they bribe you with in order to give up your freedom. Something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Love that line. But okay. So, you're doing all the right things. It's wild. I wasn't that good at your age. I was still looking forward to going to Bar A. But that was short-lived. 1 year of that, and it was over. I was like, this is not for me. Right?
I got friends from high school. Oh, can I work with you? Can I work with you? I'm like, yeah, I give them a shot. They come, 12 o'clock, they want to go home. Like, oh, can you drive me to the liquor store? This and that. It's like, no, man, we got to work,
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself, like RDL as a company? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
So what I'd like to do is I want to continue to grow RDL, my landscaping business. I want to get through, I'd like to be statewide with it. I want to be all over New Jersey. I'd like to get into real estate, and I want to get into trucking, triaxle trucking.
Trucking.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's stick to landscape for now. So
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the art of landscape. Like, what makes any landscaper better than the other?
It's all about quality. It's how you present yourself. If you're driving around in a crappy truck, all rusted out, if you're driving around in a brand new truck, trailer, everything's clean, it just looks more elegant, You're approaching a better clientele, in my opinion.
So I want to hire you because you have a nicer truck and trailer than a rusty truck, but what about my grass? How about if that guy with the rusty truck can make my grass look better? Why would I want to hire you versus him?
Well, it's all about quality. We're not just showing off the truck. We're showing off everyone's wearing the same uniform. Everyone looks the same. It's not this guy's wearing a red shirt, this guy's wearing a yellow shirt. We all have uniforms, everything. Every guy has a job on the crew. So when they get out of the truck, you have 2 mower guys, they mow. You have 2 weed whacker guys, they do their job. Everyone has a job. And that's the way to do it. If no one knows what to do, it's all over the place. You have to give everyone a job.
So if we were going to call you, let's say we were searching and we were on that Facebook page and we're looking for a new landscaper in your backyard, what would differentiate you? Why would I want to hire you than hire that other guy?
Besides your sexy trucks.
Besides your truck, besides you guys all wearing the same uniform, what kind of service are you going to bring me to my house? What are you going to do different than that other guy?
So we're all about the details. So we want to go the extra mile. So if we see something, we're going to take care of it. Even if it's something not even have to do with landscaping. Say there's I tell the guys, if homeowners have their garbage out, right, and it's empty, bring it over to the driveway for them so they don't have to do it, you know? We try to go the extra step.
Going the extra mile. I think that definitely goes a long way. But I think what Dan's asking is there any art to cutting grass? Do you have to continuously change the blades? Do you have to make sure that your equipment's fine-tuned at all times? Presentation's very important, right?
Yes.
That's what gets you the job. How do you keep the job?
So we keep the job. So we sharpen blades 4 times a week. We're very big on that. Very big on maintenance. So we don't have mowers blowing up in people's yards, oil leaking everywhere, you know? So we try to be on top of that.
You know what it is? You don't even realize that you have this process and that you're so good already at such a young age that you don't even think about these things. And that's kind of impressive, right? Yeah. It's just like, I know what to do. This is how you do it. You have to be asked those questions. But yeah, sharpening blades. Did you know you have to sharpen fucking blades?
I did, but not every 4 times a week.
Yeah. You don't have to, but if the problem is, if a blade is dull, it's going to chop the grass and not cut it. So with a better cut, it makes the line. You know, you ever see, you go past like a nice field.
I was going to ask you about the lines.
Yeah. So the lines, that's one big thing. If you don't have sharp blades, you're not going to get those fine lines in the grass. Some people don't care. I'm huge on lines. If the lines aren't nice, I want the guys to go double cut it. Sometimes they have double cut it, triple cut it.
Oh, yeah, I'm a Wrigley Field. Yeah, give me those lines.
Yeah,
baby.
You want those lines.
Yeah.
So here's a deep question for you. And I know we talk about it sometimes. Fear. What keeps you up at night?
You know, we started the business, $0 in the bank account. So how I actually started that was a big thing was money, is being able to pay the guys, cash flow coming in. So how I started was when we got a big job. This is last year, our first year, right? And we did the job. So it was a commercial job. It was for Spring Lake Golf Club. We do the pruning around their entire hedge. So it's takes 4 weeks to get paid, right? So the guys work Monday through Friday. So I said, all right, you guys work this week. I'll pay you for next week. So I actually delayed it so they would get paid. So then the following week we did residential work, got paid, so be able to pay them guys.
Smart.
So your payroll's a week behind.
Yes, a week behind. So you always have money coming in. So the work we do for last week, we have that money come in.
Let me teach you a smart trick in business. Not only should you be a week behind, but you should pay your employees on Monday. Because when you pay them on Friday, they have no money left up on Monday. And you teach your employees how to balance money if you actually pay them on Monday, because they have to go an entire week with all that money. And come the weekend, if they have plans, they start to learn how to save money.
That's good.
So for the last 20 years, I've been paying everybody on Monday.
That's smart.
So it's something that you might want to think about, because I know, especially in your industry too, you got, probably a bunch of Spanish guys working for you and whatnot. They like to drink on the weekends, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
that's
cerveza,
yeah.
So they're going to spend all that money on beer.
Try to show them to save money, to give them a better life.
Yeah, give them a better life. Show them how to save money, and they can balance that throughout the time. Right?
Absolutely. I mean, I got some people at my house probably drinking Modelo's right now in my bathroom, but they're some of the best workers I've ever had the pleasure of working with.
My crew, my lead foreman for my company who runs the maintenance, as we're here right now talking, he's running the crew for me. I actually just came back from Kentucky. We went to the Landscape Expo show. So it's the largest in the world. So they have all new machines, all new everything. I brought him with me, paid for all his stuff, showed him, hey, working with me, I want to treat you well. I want you to be here for a long time. And I brought him to all these cool restaurants and showed him a good time.
Yeah, so you're doing all the right things, and you don't even know you're doing the right things, which is a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing.
He won't buy
especially-
me dinner though.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. This guy got you started. He co-signed you.
He said I'll pay myself.
You know what? After this pod, we're gonna go get some filet mignon and lobster, and it's on you,
on me.
Riley. All right.
only if we
He
go
said-
to only if we go to Red Lobster.
Charcoal is the place to go.
Charcoal.
Yeah.
So, if you were making a well, why landscaping? You know, if you had to do it all over again, would you choose landscaping?
I would, because I don't want to go to college. At first, as a younger kid, I wanted to actually become a sports agent. And then I realized you got to go to law school, and it's a lot of school, and I was never really a school kid.
Okay.
So I was like, landscaping is a good business. I saw a lot of other companies in the area that I kind of admired because I saw every day they drive past. They got trucks on trucks on trucks that inspired me to try to become big. You know.
You know what's funny about him and Daniel when they were in high school in their senior year? They would bring their laptops to school and they'd have headphones in and they would be like emailing logos to me and like sending stuff and they'd be working while he's at school trying to act like he's paying attention. And they literally were working their senior year. They were literally on the grind already. They weren't even focused on school. I can't wait to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, most teachers were actually pretty cool about it. They would like, oh, you don't have to do this assignment if you don't want to. I was like, all right, thank you so much. And they wouldn't even care because they knew I was on a mission. And a lot of teachers, I did work for them. I did work for their houses, their parents' houses. We done work for them, so they were all cool with me. They let me kind of get through. They knew I was grinding. They knew I was on a mission. So I appreciate that.
How do you deal with the baby face? How do you deal with you're so young when you go to get a job or get a new customer, you know, whatever the situation is? How do you deal with, you know, oh, you look like a baby or you look so young? Like, how do you overcome that?
Yeah, so for residential work, when we do that, that's not really an issue. But now we're bidding on some bigger commercial stuff. It's people are like, oh, are you the owner? Sometimes I'm like, no, my father is, just to kind of make it look like I'm not. But now I started growing this little beard, and Daniel and his son doesn't want me to shave it. So we're going to see what happens, try to look a little older.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do to get the job, right? I still tell people, yeah, I just work here at my place.
Yeah.
I'm just an employee.
I was talking on a previous podcast about how I used to do the same thing when I was young, 17, started. I go, yeah, it's my dad's company. He just works in the office. You know, I'm out here in the field, and you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, because they're not going to they don't know what we're all about at first, and they're not going to give a 19-year-old a chance for a 600-unit condo complex, you know? Because that takes crews. It takes a lot of equipment. They don't know at first, oh, this 19, 20-year-old, he doesn't have all that stuff, you know? I still go places and people just think I'm just a guy in a truck, which is a truck and trailer doing stuff, you know? Then you start telling people what you got and what you do, and they're like, oh, wow, you got a lot of stuff. So it's like you're still kind of overcoming that, you know?
Pretty impressive. So if someone wanted to get into landscaping, what's their first bit of advice?
First bit of advice was I would probably go work for a company for even a year and just kind of learn the business. And the biggest thing was I didn't pay for advertisements. The biggest thing was going on Facebook groups, introducing yourself, explaining what you do, and just putting a post out there.
Do you advertise now?
Not really, not anymore.
Oh.
Everything just comes in.
Do you see a time where you're going to have to advertise?
What we do is now we work a lot with commercial. We send out mass emails. So we'll send it out to business owners, management companies, and just say who we are, our company motto, and kind of what we're all about.
That is advertising, by the way.
Yes,
Right?
but we
That's
don't have
your
to.
form.
But we don't have to do any residential advertising.
No paid
anymore.
advertising.
No
You're
paid
just
advertising.
promoting yourself.
Yes.
So I know there's many people who maybe look up to you, and maybe it's hard for them to say, "Oh my God, bro, you're doing such a great job," or whatnot. But there's actually people who follow you, and they're watching every move you make, and they're maybe scared to talk to you. What kind of advice would you give that kid, that boy or that girl or whoever, you know, young man, young lady, whatever they are? You know, it could be a kid who's 14 years old and seeing what you're doing and goes, man, I want to own a landscape company. What kind of advice would you give somebody who wants to be in business, but maybe they're just scared?
So don't be scared. You're going to have to go through the dirt. It's going to take some time. You're going to have to go out there with a shovel and work, you know? But You got to overcome it. Just keep promoting yourself. Do a good job. The work will come.
Do you work in the field still?
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes.
Not much.
Was it hard to make that transition from working in the field, working in the business, to kind of working on the business?
Yes, definitely. Because sometimes I have days planned. All right, I got to go run here. I got to go meet this person. And then you get a call 7 o'clock in the morning. This guy's not showing up. Like, all right, I got to jump on the mower today. I got to do this. I got to do that. So everything gets pushed off till 6 o'clock at night. So I still have that issue where I'm not completely out of it. But if someone calls out, I jump in and help out.
So where do you want to be? I know you said you want to be in trucking and you want to do all bigger commercial stuff, but like if you were to explain RDL Landscaping 5 years from now, I mean, I know that you've set out and you've looked at some of the bigger guys in the local area. You see what they're doing. You're watching what they're doing, and you know they're inspiring you to be at one point, and you want to be statewide. But if someone were to mention RDL 5 years from now, like what would be your expertise? What would they say that you're an expert in? Whether it's hardscaping, commercial, this guy cuts the best lawn, man. My lines look the best. Like, where do you want your identity of your company to be 5 years from now?
Mostly commercial. We just did our first hardscaping job last week. So we're starting to get into hardscaping. So we're hiring some good guys that know what to do. And I'm still learning. I'm taking classes and stuff to learn more about the industry and the hardscape world, because the hardscaping is endless. We could be doing swimming pools and patios, cabanas, kitchens, outdoor kitchens.
So is that your next vertical?
That will be the next move, yes.
Is that going to play a part in the commercial world, though?
Yes, because you got to think condo complexes have pools. They have different areas where they need walkways.
Got it.
So that will play a part, but that will also help us with our residential clients as well, that we can provide patios and kitchens to them.
Do you come, like anyone in your family, whether it's your immediate family or outside, uncles, aunts, whatever, anyone in your family in business?
No.
Does anyone ever doubt you in your family? You ever have to work through that obstruction where they said, nah, you know what, get a job, or this ain't for you, or you're being fucking stupid?
I think sometimes they wanted me, some people in my family, I think, wanted me to play it safe, maybe get a job. So, you don't have to go through that struggle, starting your own business. It's not easy from scratch.
What do they say now?
They're very proud, They see what I did, and we're growing every day. So I think they're very happy I did it. I kind of followed my mentor. I just stayed straight and went from there.
So you changed your family trajectory by just doing something totally different. And
when others went left, we went right.
Yeah, that's good. Why? So you just said you followed your mentor. Why is it important to have a mentor?
They have to push you. You need someone that will push you, that's been through it. You can't have a mentor that works at Kohl's. They gotta. You've done it before. You know what it's like to be in the dirt. You know what it's like to gone through what you have. Not being able to make payroll one week, trucks breaking down, people calling you up screaming about something.
And it's a self-realization and reflection that you don't know everything, right? All good entrepreneurs have a coach because they understand, hey, I don't know everything, and I need someone who just knows a little bit more than me to do better.
Yes.
Right.
You ever get your ego checked? Like you think you know it, then you realize, oh, I don't know it, right?
Yeah, sometimes you get that.
Good old dick slapping.
Yeah.
Fucking,
He might like that.
He might. I don't know. He's into. Hey, no judgment, bro.
So I think the mentor situation is important. And my question is, as you're growing in business, some of the people who you hung out with in high school or some of the people who your circle was around, now you realize, you're elevating, right? And you got to leave those people. And people don't understand this. I say for you to grow, you have to grow your network. You got to grow your circle, and you got to leave people behind. And people are like, oh my God, those have been my high school friends. I'm not saying you can't be friends with them. You can still be friends with them, but if they're not influencing your future and they're talking about a common past, not a common future, there's kind of a space where you need to be like, all right, well, you know what? My circle needs to change because for me to grow, my circle needs to grow. So has anyone came at you over the last couple of years like, bro, you don't talk to me anymore? Like, what's the deal? Blah, 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 blah. Like, has anyone hit you like they're mad at you because you went on to do your thing and you kind of left them behind?
I had a buddy actually that I was friends with in high school, kept calling me. I stopped calling, stopped answering him, because all he would do is just smoke weed, drink beer all the time. I don't want to be a part of that. I heard a quote. It was like, if you hang out with 4 millionaires, you'll become the 5th.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. I had to cut a bunch of people out. You recently cut a bunch of people out too. I mean, it's what you do.
Yeah.
You reassess your people, you reassess your life, and you make adjustments to be
You
a
want to
better
be
person.
you want to be with friends that help you grow, not that drag you down.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I got lucky, right? Because my high school friends are all super successful, and we still keep in touch, talk every day. But yeah, 99% of the time, that's not the case.
No.
You know, you got to find new friends. You have to foster your circle.
And everyone thinks it's about how many friends I have. I always say it's quality over quantity. I'd rather have 5 solid people in my life than 50 people who bring no value to me.
Just like his grass mows.
Yep.
Got to get those lines straight.
Yeah, it's all about quality.
So why don't you tell us where to find you? Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. What do you got going on?
So yeah, we're on Facebook, Instagram, RDL Landscape Services. My personal Riley Lewis on Facebook and Instagram.
So rdllandscapeservices.com,
Yes.
and they can find you there.
Yes.
All right, cool.
All right, so if you're in an HOA, you're on a commercial building, this is your guy. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, guys, make sure you're following us on Spotify and YouTube. We appreciate the algorithm. And Riley, awesome episode. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Have a good one.
Real pleasure. Take care. Thanks, guys.